WQAD's Good Morning Quad Cities continues.
All right, time right now, 5:30. Welcome back here to Good Morning Quad Cities.
Thank you for joining us. Topping our news this morning, the Rock Island City Council is going to look at changing its spending policies after questions came up about how a former alderman used his city credit card. News 8's Marissa Sulek tells us why the city paid for jewelry and a bulletproof vest, among other things.
Rock Island City Council members are reviewing spending policies after former Alderman Virgil Mayberry confronted City Council members at last night's meeting.
I'm here tonight concerning this article. I felt that I need to tell my side of the story at the council meeting Monday night.
Mayberry's term on the council ended this year. He says he's angry about questions regarding purchases he made on a city-issued credit card back in 2015 and 2016.
None of the things that I did were illegal, immoral, or unethical.
That includes 2 pairs of custom-made cufflinks he says were $20 each, gas he bought to drive around his ward, and a $430 bulletproof vest he says was for safety reasons.
I have represented this city in the murder capital of the United States, Chicago, East St. Louis, Rockford. Well, here, Rock Island is the safest city in the United States.
Rock Island Mayor Mike Thome says there was no policy that claims Mayberry couldn't buy those items.
You've made a purchase on your purchase card. You don't see the statement till later. And so now the city's money's already been spent. And so how do you undo it?
All of the purchases were approved by the council and signed off by the city manager.
I tell my people, this community, the truth. I'm not going to lie for them.
People do not feel they were justified expenses.
Now the mayor believes the council needs to make policy changes.
We're going to tighten this up. We are going to have a process, a tighter process of approval.
Looking into future purchases more closely. In Rock Island, Marissa Sulek, WQAD News 8.
The city council is going to look into changing specific spending policies at next month's meeting.
Well, the city of Knoxville, Iowa is taking a closer look at properties in an effort to beautify the town.
They want everybody just to take a look at their property through a visitor's eyes and just to help the appearance of properties and just generate property pride and pride in Knoxville.
The Central Iowa City taking on a new inspection program called Operation Clean Sweep. Officers will go door to door looking for things like overgrown weeds, junk in the yard, and cars parked on the grass. Not everyone is in favor of the idea.
It's their property. They're the ones paying taxes on it. And they should be able to do what they want to do as long as they're not tearing up the yard.
Residents will be told either to keep up the good work or they will be given a list of things they need to address. Ultimately, the city wants to be in tip-top shape ahead of the Knoxville Nationals in August, when thousands flock to the Knoxville Raceway.
Well, have you seen it while crossing the I-74 bridge? The third segment of the new Iowa-bound bridge arch is now up. Take a look. These are pictures of workers putting the segment into place. It comes just days after project leaders told WQAD News 8 that construction on the bridge is running behind schedule. The Iowa-bound portion of the new bridge may not be done until next June. That's because high river levels this year did not allow barges to move safely across the water, and on those barges are pieces of the bridge. The delay affects you because it means there's going to be road detours longer than expected.
In the meantime, the Rock Island Public Library is offering a new view of the I-74 bridge project with the help of virtual reality. People can zoom through the bridge corridor, get a bird's eye view of the arches, and even dive into the river to see wildlife. Virtual reality headsets can be checked out on the library's second floor. It will be available to the public from now through the month of September.
We have a heads up for drivers this morning. Several roads in Moline are under construction. The first spot is 25th Street between 6th and 7th Avenue near Riverside Park. Crews are patching and resurfacing the pavement there. Work is expected to be completed by June 28th. The second spot is 41st Street between 17th and 12th Avenue near Washington Elementary School. The northbound lane is going to be reduced to 1 lane. Work is expected to be done by July 26th. The time is 5:34 and we are expecting some rain after a couple of dry days. Eric is tracking that right now.
As long as we get dry days in between these showers, we're all right. And so far, these are pretty light. We're tracking them this morning for Muscatine and Louisa County. That's where we have these showers coming through right now. Let's go back to the radar picture here and you can get an idea of where these are. I'll zoom in on a few spots here west of the Quad Cities right now, Muscatine through West Liberty and Wilton, and then down here to the Burlington area, you've got a couple couple of showers. Our forecast starts you off looking at live outside in the Quad Cities as we look at temperatures. Still hanging in the mid-60s, not bad, but with the rain coming down as we head through the day today, we're not expecting these temperatures to really move much. 62 in Princeton and Kewaunee, 65 in Macomb. As we look at the rain come in, look at the temperatures. They don't really move at all. We're in the mid-60s at lunchtime, probably seeing a high right around 69. Showers are going to go away this afternoon, lead us with quieter conditions. Wait to see how cool we're going to get. Full forecast coming up.
Eric, thank you. In your flood recovery coverage this morning, the Mississippi River in the Quad Cities is almost below major flood stage. Right now, the river is a little above 18 feet, more than 3 feet above flood stage. It's expected to return to its banks by early next week. Davenport City crews say once the river drops below 17.5 feet, the temporary flood wall will be taken down as long as there's no possibility the river will rise again.
Armored Gardens is helping workers who lost their jobs because of the flood. The Davenport Bar has been doing Flood Takeover Mondays every Monday. It's where 100% of tips and 50% of all bar sales go to downtown Davenport businesses that were forced to close after being flooded out. So far, the bar has raised more than $20,000. Next Monday is the last Flood Takeover Monday. It benefits Abernathy's and Crafted QC. Some Davenport teachers who lost their jobs a few months ago are now being recalled and asked to go back to work.
News 8's Madison Connor joins us in the studio to explain how some teachers are returning, but not everyone wants to come back right now, Madison.
That's right. 30 of the 76 teachers that were laid off are returning next school year, a majority of them belonging to the science and special education departments. The School Budget Review Committee mandated Davenport schools to cut more than $13 million from its general fund. Nearly 85% of the general fund goes towards salaries. So in March, 26 teachers were laid off, but now nearly all of them have been recalled. Of the ones that are set to return, some aren't returning to their original position, but other areas their certifications allow them to go. So far, 60 people have been called back, but only 30 have said yes, possibly due to how they were laid off in the first place.
Anybody that votes for these unethical decisions, you're incompetent, you're incapable, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
And there is still a lot of scrutiny from the state of Iowa over Davenport's special education program. After the recall, 16 special education teaching positions are still open. Angie?
Madison, thank you. The school board's 5-year plan to save money also calls for outsourcing some positions and changing the high school schedule to a traditional one instead of a block schedule. Also still on the table, closing or consolidating a school, which the board could talk about implementing for the fall of 2021. Some Davenport high school students are putting their trade skills to the test. Yesterday, industrial tech students from Central and North high schools went on a field trip to construction sites. They first went to Essentia Credit Union's new national headquarters in Bettendorf. Then they traveled to Davenport to visit Russell Construction, where they met with employees and learned how to get a job in the construction business. They also went to the new hotel, Home to Suites in Bettendorf, on the former site of the lodge. The time is 5:38. Still ahead on Good Morning Quad Cities, a sticky situation.
Yeah, so, oh no. How long this woman was stuck in that toy car.
Oh no.
That would have happened to me. I'm unlucky that way. That happens. In fact, I got the worst splinter of my life yesterday. Could be worse. Could have gotten the splinter stuck inside that car.
True.
We're tracking some showers outside here for this morning. I'll let you know how long they're going to be around. The accurate forecast is next.
You're watching WQAD. This is News 8's Good Morning Quad Cities.